So again, welcome everyone to this program information session for Make a Change Canada. Today is Thursday, August the 6th, 2015. I'm Anne-Marie Edgar. I'm the Executive Director of Make a Change Canada. Joining us here today are other team members, Douglas Tardif, who lives north of Toronto in Ontario. He's our team leader and also a business coach in the Disabilities program and a wonderful colleague, by the way. Also joining us is Mary Alton, who lives near Kingston, Ontario. Mary's been with our organization for about 8 years now. She's our service coordinator for Make a Change Canada. And again, just a fabulous colleague. I'm sure you'll agree with me. Mary's a wonderful person and so helpful to all clients in our programs. We also have Tanis Campbell joining us from Sydney, BC as our sign language interpreter today. And Kaylin Selleck, who works for Make a Change Canada as our technology coordinator, and she's working on the back end and recording the session. So again, it's great to have you here today. Welcome, and thanks for taking some time out of your day. Do feel free to interact and join in on the conversation during the session. We'd love to hear any of your thoughts and questions that you may have. At certain points, I'm going to ask Doug and Mary also for their thoughts about the programming that we offer and their work as well. So as an overview for today's session, we're going to talk about who Make a Change Canada is and what we do. We want to talk about our clients and the area that we serve across Canada. Get into some detail next about our programs, the Web Essentials and Web Advanced Technology programs, and then our Business Abilities Entrepreneurship program. There's a lot happening at Make a Change Canada, so I'm going to go over that as well. There's a number of different ways to become involved, beginning from just as a participant, which is great, but for anyone who likes to continue to be involved with our organization, there are opportunities as well. So I want to mention that. And I'll give you some contact information and talk a little bit about our focus on providing quality service. So again, please feel free to comment or ask questions in the chat area. Raise your hand at any time. And the microphones, we all have a microphone, so you're more than welcome to speak as well. Just to begin, at Make a Change Canada, we've recently come up with the saying, helping Canadians from coast to coast realize their full potential. I think as an organization, we've really changed over the last couple of years. Well, in fact, we changed our name. We were formerly called the Canadian Society for Social Development. So we've made quite a change. Our focus is really more so on our clients. We're becoming more of a charitable organization, collecting donations, that sort of thing. Typically, we were in past just really focused in on the programming, but I would say we're looking at the larger picture now. The organization was founded by a woman named Kay Ryan in 2004. And we gained our charitable status in 2005. We came out of the Community Futures organization, which is a pan-Canadian organization. So we really grew out of an entrepreneurial philosophy to begin with. We're also a virtual organization, and we have employees in BC, Alberta, and Ontario. To date, we have served over 1,900 clients through both of our programs. At Make a Change Canada, we have a mission, of course, and our mission is to develop and deliver business startup and web technology training to people facing challenges to employment. This training is delivered from our program websites and features a self-paced and supportive learning environment. Through our online curriculum and our skilled and caring service teams, Make a Change Canada is empowering others to realize their full potential. So on our website, you can also, if you're so inclined, read about our vision, our values, and as well as our organizational mandate. And Mary's pasted the link in the chat area. I will mention that we do have a new website under development, so we are using our new domain, but in some of these links you're going to see the old CSSD domain popping up here. But pretty soon, makeachangecanada.com will take you to our new website. So I like to provide a visual about our programs here. I mean, at the heart of it is our organization, and we have the one program, IBDE, Web Essentials, Web Advanced, and then we have Disabilities. It's the Business Planning Entrepreneurship Program. But really at the center is our team and our approach to how we deliver the programs. It's very much a client-centered organization, and we focus in with our heart on serving people and keying into what the individual's dream is as closely as we can, and really help them to get somewhere by getting a new start in life. So yeah, we have a real focus on helping people, just to reinstate that. As a Canadian charity, I think that just makes sense. We really care about helping people move along and find a better spot in life and have a chance for some self-sufficiency and a better chance to care for themselves and their family. As you can see, this is we also have a lot of fun at work. It is a lot of fun. We love what we do, and this was a picture from our Christmas party this past year, and this is typical. It's a lot of fun, and it's interesting that people in a virtual organization can really be such great colleagues and such a great team. We have a wonderful team. So again, the focus on helping people, but that also brings in a whole other element where we have volunteers working for our organization, and they are making a big difference. So for instance, last year our volunteers closed captioned all of our training videos, and that was a really fun project, just to work virtually with volunteers and do that. And then just after that, we started another project working with volunteers from all across Canada, and we were able to gain accreditation as a national charity by completing so many tasks together. For myself, it was just an amazing experience, and I'm so appreciative to have volunteers, the help of volunteers with our organization. We wouldn't be where we are today without our volunteers. Currently, we've got another team of volunteers all working towards developing an event that we've got coming up this October, which is our national extravaganza. And I'll tell you more about that. But yeah, you can see it's really changed. We really didn't start using volunteers till about a year ago. So we've accomplished so much with the help of volunteers. So just to look at our coverage across the country, we have a really consistent and homeographic coverage, homogeneous, that's the word, sorry, all across the country. We have clients all the way from Haida Gwaii in the west to the tip of Newfoundland in the east. And you know, it's pretty consistent. We have really good coverage across the country. This is that was our Disabilities program there, and this is our IBDE. Again, there's clients from all across the country in the IBDE program, and again with the greatest concentrations of clients within Ontario and British Columbia, where our population centers are. So that's a lot about us, but what about our client base and what brings them to us in the first place? Really, we are finding that our clients are anyone facing challenges to employment, and that really covers a whole range. A person could be facing a challenge to employment because they're older, they're at that point in their life, lacking a bit in education. We have a lot of people in our programs who are living with a disability. There's a lot of people who are single parents. We have people with lots of education but still stuck in their careers or needing more education. We find that there's a lot of artists, people with an artistic inclination coming to our programs, writers, physical artists, people involved in the music and film industry that want to get, involved in that. And then there's a lot of people involved in technology and that sort of thing, technology into things. So it's really interesting, but really it's all over the map. I find one thing that's really interesting as well about our clientele is we find that we have clients coming to our program who are parents of children with disabilities. So this is really a growing need in our population. It can be hard for someone to appease an employer, to keep an employer happy when you're always having to run off to care for your disabled child. That can only go on so long. So we're seeing that more and more. We're seeing, of course, you're probably all aware that grandparents a lot of times are gaining the custody of their children for grandchildren for various reasons. So, and then we have clients who are caring for their parents. So there's a lot of this that can, these situations that can really hold back a person from maintaining regular employment. So that's growing. I hope this gives you, just a nice picture of really the diversity. I've got to say that our clients really have diverse backgrounds and needs. So this just gives you a visual of the diversity of our client base. But underlying it all, I've got to say that our clients are talented, determined, and savvy. So they come to us pretty set, pretty knowing about what they want to accomplish. But the problem is that they need some assistance in order to progress and some really good programming that's suited to their needs. So that's really how it all fits together. Over the past year or so, I've come to also think of our program as having a role in poverty reduction. And this came about because I sat in on an interagency meeting here. And a lot of the focus of the meeting was talking about poverty reduction, food banks, some of the hostels and street people really at their last road in life, And then I recalled these quotes that we had from some clients. And it really hit home for me because I think this is still very true today. These quotes are a little older, but these are really meaningful, and it really struck me closely when I read these again. So just briefly, from Colins in British Columbia, it has been difficult to come to terms with the changes in my life since the accident that left me with a brain injury 3 years ago. Programming in a quiet room is one of the few options I have now to contribute financially in my home. With this training, I have also been able to participate again in the business my husband and I built over the last 14 years. We are now able to offer web design as an option for our customers. So I think you can see what I mean, that really displays, it really demonstrates the change that can occur, the hope that people can begin to have again to make a difference in their family's life, just to have a contribution to the income again. And then Willie from Saskatchewan, who is a website owner, said, "The program was very detailed and very instructive. The program helped us tremendously, and it will help us make a living. Being a disabled person, I need that because I can't go out to work. This program allowed me to set up a home-based business for me and my wife to work at home." So again, very similar, but but really demonstrating the reality that it can be very difficult for some people to go out and actually work in the community due to their challenges. This is a little bit more in depth, but this is an actual client in our program who graduated from both the Web Essentials and Web Advanced. And I should actually pause and just mention that I do have the permission of any clients that we speak about during our information session here today. We have the permission to use their photo and story, so that's all been cleared. Colin is from British Columbia. He is operating a business called Keen Computing Solutions. I'm in a lot of contact with Colin because he actually does some web programming for us as well. And Colin is completely programming in PHP and MySQL now. He's building all these websites, so he's highly successful. He's building websites that are hundreds of pages in size. So his story is that he was actually working as a volunteer, and then he got into a bit of an employment situation that led out of that. But Colin's a quadriplegic and a wheelchair user, and he was actually having to travel and commute to his job, that it was causing his health to deteriorate and causing him a lot of pain. So this is his story, when he heard about the IBDE course, he says, I wasn't working, but I was very intrigued about pursuing a career in web design. Through guided instruction, I mastered graphic and website design techniques. Throughout the course, I pushed myself to exceed teachers' expectations. The instructors of the IBDE course were always helpful to provide support when needed. They were very impressed with my internship project. Since taking the IBDE course, I have become more proficient and confident in developing websites. I have developed numerous websites since my graduation, and even my clients are impressed with my work. If it weren't for the IBDE course, I don't know what I would be doing as a career. The IBDE course and instructors have given me knowledge and confidence, which has shaped my career as a successful freelance website developer. Well, that's a really nice quotation from Colin. A little bit of detail about the IBDE Web Essentials Web Advanced program. It's online, accredited by Selkirk College, and the programs are specifically in web technologies and design. The program is open to anyone meeting eligibility requirements, and the intake involves an interview and a basic computer skills assessment. I should also mention that a grade 12 graduation is required, or an equivalent combination of education and experience. So there can be exceptions. The whole point to the program is to allow people the opportunity of getting this tech education and technology that may not be available to them otherwise, and it really is providing that opportunity. The next intake date is October 19th, 2015, and then the advanced program will be offered in the spring and summer of 2016. Kathy had a question, is there any federal funding to help with the tuition cost of IBDE? Most certainly, Kathy, there is. And again, it's dependent on being able to get the funding through an employment office. So you're in BC, so you would start with the Work BC system and going through their process, an intake process and whatnot. So because the program is college accredited, our graduates do earn a certificate. It is most certainly a fundable program. So it's fundable through the skills training and also through the Opportunities Fund, and then through other avenues as well that may be available throughout the country. Students can also draw from their RRSPs under the Lifelong Learning Plan. Our ESPs can be utilized as well. So yeah, great. And you can always speak with Mary if you want some more input into that as well. And we can provide to people who are really interested in taking the program really good labor market information, because that's really the key if you're trying for funding for an educational program. They're going to want labor market information from you to be able to demonstrate that there is employment available at the end of the road. Web Advanced as well, with the help from government funding. Tobys asking whether there's funding for the Advanced program, and yeah, there is, Toby. It's the same thing. The Advanced program is also accredited and certificate bearing from Selkirk College, so it's totally fundable. Getting the funding can be a bit of a battle, but if you're determined, there are many students who are successful with getting funding. It just takes the work. So with Web Essentials, Web Advanced, we teach code on HTML5 and CSS3. Photoshop, there's 2 Photoshop courses. We're teaching proper design technique, and that's really important. Not just to sort of go out and do web design on the fly. It's important to know how to approach the design of a website in a sound manner. We're teaching web marketing, so that's your search engine optimization. And then in the advanced program, we're teaching PHP, MySQL, web programming, which is a really hot skill nowadays, very much in demand. E-commerce is a component in the program, designing for mobile, and really important is designing websites from scratch and building your own custom templates. And then that really helps people to, again, be able to go out and work in the field and really know what they're doing. I think that's the key to it. Then we have another course in WordPress CMS as well, which brings in blogging in WordPress. So it's pretty diverse and quite provides a good coverage of a lot of the key technologies that are needed. There's a practicum involved where students build a custom designed website for a business or organization in the community or for themselves. And there's a fee involved. The fee is $3,995 for the Web Essentials program, and then there is a software fee on top of that. And for the Web Advanced program, the fee is $495 per course, and there are 4 courses in the Advanced program. So interestingly enough, Ed, who's in the room, took the Web Essentials program and built a really great website. So I just wanted to mention that. I was really impressed with all the websites. I always am, and they get really better each year. But Ed really took it a step further and designed a fluid site that works on mobile, and he subsequently won the website competition. So, you know, there's some really impressive skills and work coming out of the program, and I think it gets better every year. It's a great field to move into. Lots of work in technology and communications. Mary's provided a link to a labor market study that just came out this year, and that's a real key to use in any application for funding. And that's all available within our program prospectus on the IBDE site. And Kathy was wondering, is the WordPress course, it's part of the basic or advanced? It's in the advanced program, Kathy. So graduates, interestingly enough, graduates are pursuing careers in not just web design. This certificate can really get you going in administration, marketing, business, e-commerce, and of course in information technology. It's really interesting to me. We have a graduate who moved into a job really answering the phone in a nonprofit. Before she took IBD, she would basically hit the end of the road. She was hitting a place where she was becoming unemployable. Employers weren't interested in looking at her resume anymore. But once she got the certificate, she was able to go in their interview, and she was hired specifically because she can update the website. So it's a real key to shine up that resume in order to become sustainable in the labor market nowadays. That's one career path that we're seeing, and that's happening with more than one graduate. We see this repeatedly. The second is in marketing, and here, again, for one reason or another, we're seeing clients who have hit sort of the roadblock in their career, be it for personal reasons, this sort of thing. But if they have a background already, good writing skills, perhaps have done some event coordination, have knowledge working with publicity, that sort of thing. Pairing that with the technology skills and the certificate are building these flourishing businesses or being able to be employed as well in the marketing field. And it's just really rewarding to see these careers of our graduates taking off in this manner. The third sort of area that we see people developing in is starting their own e-commerce websites. And we've had some really neat examples of websites come out of the program in past. We've got a woman who is selling fairy gardens online. So she has her own e-commerce site to sell fairy gardens. We had another woman who was selling designer dog outfits for little dogs. And really the opportunities are endless. And so we're seeing success in this area as well. And then of course we are seeing that graduates are becoming employed as junior developers. And there's a need for this because there's so much opportunity and there's such an impending shortage of people to provide this work in our market. So it's really, really nice for me to see the results and to be able to say that, yes, there are opportunities. Toby's wondering regarding Web Advanced, it says it starts June to August. You mentioned it starts in May. Yeah, next year, just because of the way the calendar works, it'll start on the 30th of May rather than June the 1st. That's what that's all about. So, despite all the challenges that I've sort of outlined for you, we find that with flexible and supportive programming and it being online, the vast majority of clients in our program are succeeding. And these are just some different photographs taken at the graduation ceremonies at Selkirk College over the years, which is always a highlight for me to get out and meet our graduates in person. Another graduate of the IBDE program is Cameron from Ontario, and this is sort of the fourth career stream that I talked about, moving into the role of being a junior developer, is sort of where he ended up. So one day this email just landed in baskets in our email, and Cameron had to say, "Hey all, I have had a really good week. Here's some good news. After notifying a job coordinator of my completion of IBDE's program, I received a job posting by email Tuesday. I contacted the company Wednesday and landed an informal interview the same day. I had a 15-minute meeting with the head of the company in the afternoon and started 8 a.m. the next day for a work trial. I finished a simple project for the company my second day today and made some good progress on the second project. At the end of the day today, I found out I will be able to officially start on Monday, November 4th. Looks like finishing school in a highly popular field was a great choice. The project I finished was building a new site for the small company. My boss is happy with it, but I think it could still use some work. Check it out at hightronic.ca. Also check back later for a new company logo. Any ideas or thoughts on the site or logo would be appreciated." And we find this quite often that we'll have graduates writing in and asking for a little bit of advice, and that's always a great thing. We love to hear from graduates after graduation as well. Anyway, he says, "I wanted to thank all of you for your guidance and support throughout the past year. Completing a college program after failing to finish my university education was a great accomplishment for me. You have all been a really big help. Have a good one. Thanks, Cameron. Cameron always signs his emails, have a good one. So it's kind of neat, you know, to read this email from him again. Everybody has their own style, and that's Cam's style. Now, the thing about Cam as well is that he ran into some difficulties during the advanced program, some health setbacks with his health, but he was able to reach out with us and tell us that he had hit a glut, and the program was able to flex to his needs. He had a couple weeks of really bad downtime, but he was a strong student, was able to graduate from the program. So that's just an example of how we can be really flexible and understanding. Cam has a really interesting blog that he writes. It's at cam.majorminor.ca. He writes about the bipolar disorder, and I do recommend taking a look if you have some time, because for myself anyway, I found it really, really enlightening and educational to be able to learn from his firsthand experience how, honestly, how scary it can be to have that disorder and to go through episodes. He really does write very well and give you a really good idea of what the experience is like. And he has actually on his blog an interview that he did, and his aunt interviewed him, and that as well was a really good educational opportunity to understand the disorder better. So I do encourage you. And Mary has pasted in the links to Cam's blog as well as his Facebook page. So I wanted to pause here. I've been doing a lot of talking. I wanted to pause here and just check in. I'm wondering if we've identified any issues that might resonate with you. What do you think of our programs so far? Has there been anything about our programs that have been a surprise to you at all? Anything about the presentation? And even, I will turn off my microphone, although I'll just note that Tobys commented that she enjoyed hearing Colin and Cameron's experience. That's great. Thanks for that input, Toby. And I'll just actually turn off my microphone and see if anyone has any comments. And Doug or Mary, I'm wondering if there's anything that you might like to comment in at this point.
I'll just add just a little brief comment or two here, just in terms of my experience in the organization in working with just a really amazingly diverse group of individuals. So, you know, I think people coming into this, despite their backgrounds, their educational experiences, what professions they may have had or have not had over the years, you know, the one common goal is really wanting to do something different, wanting to move forward in their lives and do something that they're excited about and passionate about, you know, and I think that's really what the key to their success has been, because they want it. They want to do something that they've dreamed of doing for many years, and they want to feel really fulfilled in their lives. You know, so it keeps them going. And certainly we have by far, I think, one common trait amongst, I'd probably say 95% of our clients is they are all very hardworking, tenacious individuals. You know, they're determined, they want to succeed, and they'll do whatever they can despite the different levels of adversity they may be facing. So, you know, whether you have an interest in web technology in particular, or whether you just want to have more ability to run your own business online, and that's just a small aspect of it, you know, there can be a lot of different things that you can take away from this type of program. And certainly, I think the fact that we have a lot of people coming into the programs who also are, just strongly want to be entrepreneurs, want to be independent, want to be their own bosses. That's not all of our client base, but we certainly do see quite a bit of that. I think it's a really great compliment that we've got this fantastic program, which I know we're going to be talking about soon, and Disabilities, where you can get some training, but you can also have that support and mentoring to actually get your business up and running. So just wanted to add those few little tidbits.
Thanks a million, Mary. I always appreciate hearing what Mary and Doug have to say. And Mary's very, very good at pulling in her perspective and impressions. So thank you very much, Mary. Jennifer says, this sounds like it was a great opportunity to come into touch with your organization in order to fulfill my dreams of business ownership. Yeah, it's great to have you in the program, Jennifer. And I know we had the opportunity to speak last week, and that was really nice. And I'm really looking forward to, I think your business idea is really neat. You're really thinking entrepreneurial. And yeah, let's see where we can take this together for sure. You're really in the driver's seat, and we're here to help you out with that. Ed had a comment that the videos which formed part of the training really helped with the learning curve, and there was great support from the trainers. He says it was a very enjoyable experience. I'm really glad to hear that, Ed, and we've had a chance to talk on the phone as well. So, let's all keep in touch for sure, and you might be back for the advanced program next year as well. But thank you very much for the comment. Yeah, good to hear. We do try definitely to, that's our focus, is providing quality service, so in an online environment. Good to have your feedback. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else coming in at the moment in terms of comments, so I'll move along now to business abilities. I just want to outline business abilities. Again, it's an online program in entrepreneurship and career planning where clients research their business idea, prepare the financial statements, and produce a business plan. Participants then proceed to the business startup phase. So right off the bat, the program is a little unique than what you may have seen in other self-employment programs. I've got to say, as you can see down in the bottom right-hand corner, it's funded by the Government of Canada, and we believe strongly in the program that's offered through the government. This program is specifically for people living with disabilities, and right from the top, it is geared towards people with disabilities needs. So, it's rooted on a very good mandate coming out of Ottawa to begin with. And then that's why we're able to offer the sort of program we can offer. So it differs in the sense that it's flexible. It's a continuous intake. So generally we're bringing clients into the program about once a month. So it's not a program that's, say, 6 weeks in duration, 4 months, 6 months, or a year. It's not that way at all. It's not highly structured, so that because it's people with disabilities that we're dealing with in the program, if a person's disability needs heighten, then they can level off their participation to attend to their own personal needs, but not lose that connection to the program. And also, there's great success. There's some amazing businesses being built out of the program. So great results again, just as we have with our web development program. People coming to Disabilities, as I say, it's open to people only who self-identify as living with a disability. So what we find, and this is just sort of a visual for you, the type of disability that people are coming with is very much mental health issues. There's a lot of people with mental health issues in our population, and a lot of times it will be coupled with perhaps a physical disability. So, but what we really find predominant is the mental health issues and chronic pain. There's a lot of people living with disabilities who are suffering from chronic pain. But it's all over the map. You know, fibromyalgia, of course, everything you can imagine. We've had blind clients in the program, deaf clients, to partial hearing, partial sight. There's a lot of this. And then just some disabilities that people have since birth as well. So all over the map for sure. And I guess I should mention that the statistic now in the Canadian population is that 15% of our population self-identifies as living with a disability. So this program is available to a lot of the population, in other words. Aidan's made a comment here. He says he's slowly going through the worksheets. He came to the program after failing to find meaningful employment. That's the key, isn't it? It's meaningful. We all, you know, it's hard to find meaningful employment as it stands, besides even self-identifying with a disability. So you figured you'd give it a go and you're hopefully going to complete it. So yeah, I mean, you know, we're here to support you all along the way, and it's a pleasure to have you in the program, Aidan. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. So what we have to offer in the Business Abilities program, it's all based around completing worksheets, which are available through our website. And along with that, each client in the program is assigned their own business coach. So each client receives one-on-one coaching support. And then we have classroom sessions on all sorts of topics, and we bring in guest speakers as well. So the business coaches put on presentations, and then we have some interesting guest speakers coming in as well to speak on topics such as social media, self-help, you know, public speaking. So some of the soft skills are covered, but then we also get into the details of the worksheets themselves. And this is really good for people who are visual learners and enjoy the webinar type of presentation. So that's how we package the program. And the value of the program to participants, and I probably touched on a few of these points, but if you look at that visual, I think the value is really your personal business coach. That we have seasoned entrepreneurs doing the business coaching in the program, and that really makes a huge difference for people who have been through the whole process, probably not only once, but a number of times, and been involved in a number of different businesses. So that's really key to the program. We strive for the quick response times, which is generally 48 hours of business at most. You're going to hear from your business coaches, and they review your work in detail, and they're a great sounding board. So they can help also to get a business plan in proper shape to provide to a traditional lender or to perhaps a non-traditional lender as well. But out of interest sake, I would like you to know as well that we're firm believers in a business plan, and we believe that no matter what level of business you're going to take your idea to, whether you're going to self-fund yourself, whether you're going to go to your family and ask to borrow $500 or $1,000, or whether you're going for some traditional loan, we believe in the importance of a business plan. So that's a really neat part of our Business Abilities program. Your business, no matter how small or how large, you need to go through the process of really being able to know yourself that you're going to be able to make a go of it and pay your bills. That's the big thing. Before you get yourself out on a limb, preferably in your business. So that's really at the heart of the program, is the business plan. And another unique part of the Business Abilities program is that we can offer additional business mentorship and support during the business startup phase. So support doesn't end once you've completed your business plan. You can maintain a connection with your business coach and contact them on an occasional basis once you're up and operating as well. So Kathy had a question. Is there a lot of reading or is it mostly hands-on? I would say there's a lot of both. Like Ed was mentioning, we try and provide an awful lot of video instruction, so that's available, but definitely there's lots of exercises to go through and lots of steps in preparing your, whether it's your graphic that you're producing or working on some code. Yeah, there's lots of steps involved, but we try and use big print. We're getting a new, newly developed website as well, and I think that the look and feel is going to be really nice. Actually, in both our programs, the websites are being refreshed right now, so that'll be nice. But yeah, we're always open to input as well as to how your learning experience is in the program. Always trying for the best presentation. That's my background. I'm an instructional designer from a ways back. A number of years, I guess 20 years ago, I started as an instructional designer. So, we've really tried to make that a big focus on making the learning materials easy to follow and as accurate. We keep them up to date. Every year we do a review of materials and we stay current with the technologies as well. So Toby was wondering if there's any deaf clients in BA. It would be nice to hear their experience. Yeah, I can't disclose that information, Toby, because that would be confidential. But maybe you and I, we need to have a Skype meeting anyway. I know that's on our agenda. So, let's discuss that when we meet next. Now, I can mention actually for those of you who aren't aware that there is an IBDE group on Facebook, and it's a student group for graduates. And, maybe that's something we can look at doing as well for business abilities. So we'll discuss that. It's student moderated, that group that started now. So that's really nice way to connect with other clients. We used to have forums right on the Business Abilities website, but that technology became so convoluted and out of date that there was no use in maintaining it. But we may be able to reintroduce some forums right on the websites again with this upgrade that we're currently completing. Thank you for the suggestion. Good idea. So again, just with business abilities, we did a study over the course of 2 years in 2012 and 2013, and we really did a good study. It was a very scientific, very well done by a researcher who has great experience in the education and disability fields. And we had some great learning come out of that study. One part of it was asking clients what they value most in the program, what was most important. And it really came down to the coaches. That's the most important key for them for their, I guess, progressing with their business idea. And what did they have to say about our coaches? That they're supportive, experienced, understanding, accepting, they're patient, and kind. I like how there's kind on those 2 fingers. So yeah, that's really, again, I think we're going back to my comment that at the heart of it all is a heart. We really are attentive at an individual basis, and clients in the program, we are there to be supported, and we actually do provide support as well. We're not counselors, we're not going to get involved too deeply in personal difficulties or that sort of thing, but we're definitely supportive with your career direction. Now, this lovely lady is Shirley. She's from British Columbia, and she was actually one of the first graduates that I met in person at Selkirk College, and it was a fantastic day. Shirley came over in April from the Okanagan to attend graduation, and she had some problems with transportation. So we actually helped her out with the rental vehicle. This is April, and she had to go through a snowstorm to get over to Castlegar to the ceremony. So, you know, again, I think just those surrounding circumstances made it such a neat experience, not only for Shirley, but for I to be so involved in helping her get here. And then I got to meet her, and you can see she was just beaming. Shirley never had a chance to attend her high school graduation, so she made a point of coming over for the college graduation, and she was just lit up. Our graduates are the last to go on to stage at the graduation ceremonies, which is really interesting. So they wait a long time, but it sort of caps it off so lovely for me to see our graduates on stage. Anyway, Shirley had to say about the program, "It saved my life literally. I felt hopeless, and now I don't feel that way. I feel like I can control my destiny and do something to change my circumstances. It's a process. When disabled, you lose your self-esteem. I am a much better person now." And that's such an interesting phrase because Shirley was always an amazing person, but I guess internally she feels like it's changed her as a person. So that's really neat to hear. And Shirley actually went through both programs, the IBDE Web Essentials, Web Advanced, did both of those, and then went through Business Abilities as well. Kathy would like the recording. Okay, so we'll make note of your notes. The study, we have some bullet points, Jennifer, that I could provide to you. And Kayleen, if you could please take note of Kathy's request for recordings, that would be good. IBDE, this is sort of interesting. IBDE stands for Internet Business Development for Entrepreneurs, and that's how the program was originally known. But that's pretty much morphing over time and doesn't really apply because the program isn't just about entrepreneurship. People are finding employment. So really we're starting just to morph it over to be Web Essentials, Web Advanced. But I hope that helps explain some of the history. And Mary did type that in for you. So moving along to, I've covered off a number of client success stories throughout the presentation, but I'd like to let you know that we have a really nice booklet as well. If you'd like to read up on some of the neat success stories of clients who have gone through both programs, they're available in this booklet, and I think Mary's going to provide you with the URL link. So you can just see, I mean, we've had one client appearing on CBC TV, down in the bottom right-hand corner. He's from New Brunswick and is a mushroom and fiddlehead collector. Has a flourishing business, and he's actually moved into a lot of different forms of business from there. An author, this lady down in the middle center, writing books actually about partner abuse and addiction is really great series of stories that she's written. Lynn, that's Lynn Louie in the center there. Yeah, anyway, you can pick up on the success stories, and I do encourage you to take a look. They're really fascinating stories in there. Okay, so you've been saving all the links. Good, Kathy. So again, I just want to stop here. I've been rattling on again, doing a lot of talking. I hope you found the session really enjoyable. At this point, I'm wondering if you think there's a better fit for you, whether it's the technology training or the entrepreneurship training, and why that may be. Have you participated in our programs or volunteers? I have this other part of the question, have your clients, because there could be a career practitioner in the room who's interested maybe to learn more about the experience of their own clients in our programs. What has been your experience? So yeah, if you have any input at this point, please feel free to type in the chat area. And also, I will turn off my microphone, and I'm wondering, Doug, is there anything that you'd like to add to the presentation today? Is there any part of working at Make a Change Canada that's meaningful for you? Like, what's your perspective as a coach in working in our programs?
Thanks, Anne-Marie. I'm going to sound a little bit like Donald Trump for a few seconds here, and the reason is that I guess I derive the greatest pleasure, and I've spoken with a couple of our business coaches as well. The greatest pleasure we get from the program is to participate in the dream and the passion of our clients, and the fact that they want to achieve something that's going to be very important in their lives. It's going to make them perhaps self-sufficient, which is something that many of our clients haven't seen for quite some time. And it gives them an opportunity to start participating in the Canadian mosaic. You know, it's interesting. Being successful in a business will make you really, really feel good. And self-esteem is a very important component to the program that we have been watching and participating in over the last few years. We've seen dramatic improvements in self-esteem of some of our clients, going from people who wouldn't be able to make a 30-second elevator pitch, as we call it, which is basically just presenting yourself and saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing for a living. Would you like to be a client? Would you like to have one of our products, etc.? Just being able to have that conversation, they would be terrified in doing that. But with the coaching that we've been providing, with the webinars that we've had on hand, and the encouragement that we try to pass on to the clients, they've managed to overcome those difficulties. And it's made an enormous transformation in their lives. One of the questions earlier I wanted to touch on this was that at one point in time we did have a forum group within the organization, and it didn't, and quite honestly it wasn't working very, very well. We had not that many participants getting together as business people and talking amongst themselves. And I think, quite frankly, that we were ahead of the curve. And what do I mean by that? Well, as you can see, I'm an older guy, and in a past life, we were designing computer systems for a banking facility. And this was in the initial stages of automated teller machines. And we came up with an automated teller machine for a bank who will remain nameless, I might add. But the name of the bank machine was called the Money Buddy. And we had this cute little squirrel, and we had it all organized, and I designed all of the software and the interface and everything for the Money Buddy. And we were going for a test branch and seeing how people would like to enjoy the prospect of working with an ATM rather than going to a teller. And quite frankly, on our opening day, we were dragging people to the automated teller machine, and they wanted nothing to do with it. So you can imagine this is a few thousand years ago. They wanted to deal with the teller. And I think in our situation with the forum that we had it up, I guess, almost 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, people weren't as accustomed to using the social media and sharing things online as they are now. And I think that if we had a forum of some sort, whether it be in a social media context or whether it be actually in the website, it would be more successful today than it was back then. I think we were very harsh on each other and when we were doing our assessment of why it wasn't working. I think we were just ahead of the curve. So anyway, I won't go off on a crusade here. I'm going to say that I know when I speak about the program, I'm echoing what the other business coaches are saying because we are in constant contact. We really do enjoy working with clients. We love being involved in their businesses. We love sharing in their success, and we love to see them move forward and prosper. And this has been a great opportunity for us. It has opened up new challenges for us because we've had to look at businesses that we've never looked at before in our lives, but we're getting pretty good at it. And it's been a great joy for us.
Great, thank you very much, Doug. Again, it's just really great to hear, the work that we do helps others, but it also helps ourselves. So it's interesting to hear other team members' perspective. So I'm going to move along. We've heard a lot from all of our guests today, so I just want to thank you for your involvement, for contributing to today's session. It's a good opportunity for you to learn from us, but also from us to learn from you. So before we tie it up completely here, I just want to mention what's happening at Make a Change Canada. It is our 10-year anniversary. That's an emblem up in the top right corner. So we have still, our Web Advanced program is in progress right now. There's still an opportunity for anyone who has the prerequisite to take the Word Tracker course. It starts on August the 17th, or the WordPress blogging starts September 14th. So there's still openings there available. Our next intake of Web Essentials starts October 19th. And that's going to be another great session ahead in the program. Web Advanced for the next session, as Toby was mentioning, starts in 2016, May 30th. The Web Advanced program. And then with Disabilities, as we've mentioned, applications are accepted on an ongoing basis and intake is continuous. So there's really no deadlines, so to speak, for Disabilities. I want to mention that each year we have an annual event, our Student Showcase and Website Competition, and just let you know to watch for that for next year. Next spring 2016, we'll have another competition, and it's always great. The more support that we can get for our graduates, the better. So watch for it and please do some voting if you're so inclined. We're holding a national extravaganza this October the 8th, 2015, and it's going to be held at a very wonderful performance hall here where I'm located in Nelson, BC. But we're also going to stream the performance all across Canada through Ustream. So I do encourage you to visit our Facebook page, go to the event, join the event, follow it. We're going to have some great social media in the lead up to the event. And also, we have put a call out if any clients would like to contribute a video to the extravaganza. That would be fantastic. We have a lovely host for the event. She's an actress, a great interviewer, and she's going to script out the whole event. Her name is Jenna Rader. And yeah, if that's your inclination, you feel like you have a bit of a story to tell, please get in contact with me and we can talk about making a video, just a short video. That's what's going to frame the whole event. It will be videos from clients, some of our staff speaking about our experience in delivering these programs, what it's meant for us. It's just going to be really nice. You know, it was our 10th anniversary this year, and I didn't want to just see the year pass without doing anything. So this is what we're going to do for our 10-year anniversary. And it's really a celebration of your success. It's a celebration of what people are achieving despite obstacles. And it's also a celebration of the organizations and people who support them. 2 hours in length, streamed all across Canada, as I said. So yeah, there's the theme of the event, Through Story and Song. This will be a celebration of people from across Canada overcoming their challenges and the organizations and people who support them. So I do really encourage you. It's going to be an exciting event, to say the least. I really got ourselves into this one, but it's going to be a really fantastic event. So also, as you know, we're really active in social media, and in many different channels. We've just picked up Instagram. So if you're not following us in the social media and you would like to, please do so. We also have our newsletters going out through Constant Contact. So if you're not receiving those, please do subscribe to our email list if you would like to receive our newsletters. Our newsletters are fantastic. We're featuring client success stories, volunteer profiles, just some really nice stories are coming out through our newsletters now. Also, consider sharing your story, becoming a program ambassador. We realize that our best advertising is word of mouth, so if you have good things to say, you can help us spread the word about our programs. There's always an opportunity to volunteer with our organization. Once you've got your successful new venture up and started, or you're, rejoining the labor force. And also, I always want to plant the idea that we are a charitable organization that can accept donations, and we are building that aspect into our everyday operation more and more as we grow as an organization. So, for us to really be able to help people in our programs, we're going to be relying more and more on donations. So I like to mention that. Toby, I see your comment there, and we'll chat. We'll definitely chat during our meeting. And before we end today's sessions, are there any final comments? Did we meet your needs today? Were there any final questions at all? As I say, you've been really active in asking lots of questions throughout the session, but let's just take a moment and see. Thank you, Kathy. And then I'm just going to finish up here by giving you our contact information. We're here to help. We're at your service. We've got a toll-free line. So please feel free to call that. Anytime you want to speak with one of us, Mary, Doug, or I are answering the telephones. There's our 3 websites, makeachangecanada.com, currently leading to our CSSD website, but will soon lead to our new website, and then our 2 program websites as well. So I just want to take the opportunity to close off the session today. Thank you very much for participating and attending today. We really, really appreciate your involvement and your participation in our programs, as well as your interest in future for attending our programs. So thank you all. Have a fantastic day, and we'll hope to connect with you soon. Bye-bye for now.